Hey friends, welcome to my channel, Creating Inner Beauty. Today I'm going to be talking about how your spiritual guide team may be communicating with you and how you can more clearly perceive their guidance, their messages, and deepen your relationship with them. If you don't know me, my name is Liz, and I'm an intuitive transformational coach for conscious women. And in my work, I empower conscious, intuitive, empathic women who are feeling stuck and dissatisfied in their lives, heal their blocks, tap into their unique inner beauty and magic, and create and manifest lives that they love. So today I was really inspired to talk about connecting to your spiritual guide team because I find that it's one of the ways that you can most easily get back into flow, figure out where you're going, and receive guidance on creating a life that is going to be much more in alignment, much more fulfilling for you. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about how your guide team might already be communicating with you, and then ways to deepen that communication and deepen your relationship with them. So first, let me talk a little bit about how I see intuition and your spiritual guides connected with one another. And that is, I find that your guide team, your spirit guides, which can consist of guides, angels, divine and benevolent beings, spirit animals, all manner of beings of light and love on the other side that are there to support you and guide you in your life's journey into the things that are for your highest good. And so the way that these beings communicate with you is through your intuitive senses. And if you're new to the idea of intuition and intuitive senses, there are 8 intuitive senses, but I'm going to talk about 4 main intuitive senses that most people have in some combination that are the primary ways that they receive intuitive spiritual information. So the first is intuitive seeing. That's also known as clairvoyance. And that is receiving messages in a more visual type of way. So this is when you might see colors when you close your eyes, when you might see pictures or visualizations in your head, images or symbols pop into your head, into your visual field. When you might be attracted to certain colors or objects or signs with your eyes visually, all of that is in the realm of intuitive seeing. Now, secondly, we have intuitive hearing, also known as clairaudience. And this is when our spiritual guidance, our intuitive guidance comes to us through auditory means. Now, this might just sound like your own inner voice telling you something, a piece of information that you know is true or you find to be true. It can be when a song starts playing in your head all of a sudden and it has a special meaning for you. It can be when you hear all of a sudden, like you're sitting at a cafe, you hear people talking and you're just all of a sudden tune into their conversation and there's a message in there for you, a piece of information maybe you were looking for, or just something that really sheds light on a problem you're having. All of that is intuitive hearing, clairaudient type of senses and abilities. Then there's intuitive knowing, which is also known as clairsentience. And this is when ideas and inspiration, and just when you know something, it just pops into your head and you know it to be true. All of that is in the realm of intuitive knowing. And then lastly, there's intuitive feeling, which is also known as empathy, empathic abilities. And this is when you know when someone else is feeling what somebody else is feeling, or you just have a gut feeling about something, whether it's good for you or not good for you. It's when your guide team communicates with you through various feeling states. So it's really important to start to tune into which of these senses are strongest for you, which of them are most natural for you to use, and how are the ways that your guide team has really talked with you, communicated with you through them previously. So one of the big tips that I have about that is to start to keep a journal for a couple of weeks and jot down any time where you felt like maybe you were receiving a bit of intuitive guidance. You know, you were nudged towards something, you had a knowing towards something, you saw something you might have thought was a sign, you heard a song in your head or heard a special conversation that felt like it had a meaning for you, you saw something on Instagram or Facebook that really resonated, all of those things. Write them down, write what sense that they came through to you from, and what happened after that. You know, did you take an action based on that guidance? Did you have a piece of information come your way after you received an intuitive knowing? You know, what happened after you received this intuitive nudge? And as you start to keep track of these things, you'll find that you'll see certain of your senses are used more often than others, and you'll begin to get a sense of which are the strongest senses for you and which ways your guides might be communicating with you the most frequently. And now this is something we go into much more deeply in my sacred coaching program, Radiate, A Journey to Embody Your Inner Beauty. I have a quiz that you can take and some meditations and exercises you can practice to start to really strengthen these intuitive senses and know when your guide team is using them to connect with you. So if you're interested in that at all, I'll put a link down below in the description box. You can check out more information about that. But I've really found that learning yourself and how your personal intuition works is one of the key ways to connect to your guide team. And that you'll really realize, especially if you keep that journal, that they've already been communicating with you. It's not something that you need to actively seek out, although it certainly helps to set that intention. You'll find that they've already been communicating with you. They've been sending you songs, they've been sending you messengers, they've been sending you signs and symbols, all of those things. So as you keep track of them, you'll get a better sense of what they've been and which sense that they come through for you. So another thing to pay attention to in how your guides might be communicating with you and ways that you can deepen that communication is to really start an active meditation process. Or if meditation doesn't resonate with you, if you have a hard time with that, think about what meditative activities can you do. So what do I mean by that? Meditative activities are anything that puts you in a state of calm, focused flow. So for some people, that's doing art. For other people, that's gardening or cooking. For other people, it's yoga. Or going for a run or going for a walk in nature. You don't have to be necessarily sitting down cross-legged, doing a traditional kind of meditation. You just need to consistently be doing meditation activities that put you in that meditative state. And what you'll find is that your guides will more easily use your intuitive senses to connect with you in those meditative states. The reason for that is that your mind is calmer, there's not so much chatter that's getting in the way, and you're more open to receiving information. So whether or not you're like doing a formal meditation where you're sitting down and being quiet for a certain amount of time, or you're just doing a meditative activity, pay attention to what pops into your head. What ideas and inspirations do you get? What symbols do you see, or what colors do you see when your eyes are closed or when you're looking around as you're walking in nature, for example? What songs pop into your head? What lines of movies do you think about? What feelings are coming up for you? All of that is intuitive information that your guides may be using to give you a message. So definitely the more you can practice that, the more in tune and in touch with your guides and your intuition you'll become. Now, another thing to kind of pay attention to is when you're receiving repeated messages about something. So a lot of times I'll find that if I set an intention like, you know, I really need to understand this problem, or I'm really needing guidance as to what to do next about this issue in my life, all of a sudden, I might hear about a certain book 3 or 4 times in a week from different people where I've never heard of this book before. Or maybe the same topic will keep coming up on YouTube videos that are presented in my feed. Or I'll have similar topics come up in conversation with different clients or different people I meet when that's never been a topic of conversation before. So all of these types of things are repeated messages that are popping up into your awareness because your guides are sending this information to you. So pay attention to that. If you hear about a certain book 4 times, go and check it out. Go read its description or go to the bookstore or the library and see if you can flip through it. See if it resonates with you. If you're hearing a certain song or a certain snippet of a song pops into your head, go listen to the whole song. See if there's a message or a line in there that has a piece of information for you. Pay attention to those repeated messages. They're definitely a way that your guides are talking to you. Other things that can happen is that you see a certain symbol over and over. For example, seeing blue butterflies repeatedly on different things, or having a bunch of butterflies cross your path, or finding feathers on the floor, where that's not something that's ever happened before. All of those things can be ways that your angels and your guides, the divine, are speaking to you. So start to pay attention to the things that happen repeatedly in your experience. And also, I'm just checking my notes over here. The other thing I wanted to touch on is really actively, with intention, using tools to connect with your spirit guide team. Now, these can be tools such as oracle cards, tarot cards, runes, pendulums, scrying, automatic writing, journaling. Setting your intention that you would like to connect to your spirit team, and then using one of these tools to really help open up that conversation and tap into your intuition to see the messages that they want to give you. Now, different people are going to resonate with different tools, so this might be something that you need to play around with a little bit, see what draws your attention. Maybe notice as I list those various tools, was there one of them that really caught your attention, that made you feel excited, or that you said to yourself, oh yeah, I've been meaning to learn about that or play with that. That may be an indication that that is a tool that your guides would like to communicate with you through. I know for myself, I'm very drawn to tarot and oracle. That's why I do readings and for clients and for myself, and I use them in my intuitive coaching. I find it's just such a clear way to open up my intuitive channel and to channel messages for my clients. And so that's become a huge part of my practice, my personal spiritual practice, and my practice with clients. So if something like that draws your attention, explore it a little bit, have fun with it, see if it's a way that your guide team connects with you, and definitely keep a journal about it. When you go back and journal the messages that you feel like you are getting, when you go back and read them, you'll be able to say to yourself, hey, that's something I really couldn't have come up with by myself. I really feel that that's a message from my spirit guide team, and it will start to build your trust in yourself, your intuition, and your guides. Now, if you're looking for more help with this, if you'd like to feel like you're connecting to your guides more clearly and receiving intuitive messages from them, I do offer a free clarity call with me where I give you a mini intuitive guidance reading with tarot and oracle cards to help you get clarity on your life right now and connect to your spirit team a little bit more fully and help you with that process. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to that down below, and I'd be really excited to connect with you and help you with this process. So I hope that I will see you in my next video. If this video has resonated with you, go ahead and give it a like. Feel free to hit subscribe if you'd like to be notified for my next video. And in my next video, I'm going to be talking about something that very commonly happens to conscious spiritual women, which is that they reach a point in their lives where they either feel really, really stuck and not sure where to go, or their life starts to fall apart. I know that this has happened for me and many of my clients, but what I want to talk about next time is why that is actually possibly a good thing. In fact, a great thing for your life. So if you're interested in that, come back next week for more info on that topic. I hope to see you then. Bye.